Hello and welcome to Essentials to Heal Yourself. I'm Laura Leigh Humphreys. So today we're continuing on our conversation with the natural laws of health. And today we're going to talk about the fourth one. So just a brief recap, what are the natural laws of health? They are insights and wisdom and basic common sense things that when you recognize them, hear them, see them in action, then you often have what I call the duh factor, meaning, well, duh, that's so obvious, but yet how often do you actually follow the advice of what that principle is teaching you or asking you to do? How well are you living in harmony with these natural laws of health? That will tell you in large measure how well you're taking care of yourself, how healthy you are, how much energy, vitality, longevity, enjoyment you have in your life. So when we don't follow the natural laws of health, then we get to experience the inevitable consequences, which is pain, misery, disease, sadness, depression, debt, all the undesirables of life. So if you're following along with this series, then you understand that I approach everything from a holistic standpoint. So not only am I explaining these natural laws of health on the physical level of what you do for your physical body, but I'm also explaining them to you from an energetic, holistic viewpoint, because you are an energetic being. You do have an energy system. So as I'm going through these natural laws of health, and I'm also teaching you about your energy system and what it is, the type of information and data that it holds, and how you can access that information, and how your energy system, the electromagnetic energy that's in your energy system, affects literally the physical health of your tissues and organs. So today, as I mentioned, we're talking about the fourth one, which corresponds with the fourth chakra or energy center of your body, which has to do with your heart. And the natural law, principle of health is all about passion, enjoyment, joy. Are you doing things that you love to do? So think of a time when you were doing that, you were lost in a pastime, a conversation, something that you truly enjoyed. And before you knew it, you looked down and 3 hours had passed by and you're like, how did that happen? The time just flew by. That's because you were deeply immersed in something and you were loving what you were doing. When you do things like that, when you love what you're doing, that passion builds energy within the body, builds electricity, electrical frequency, which is important for stimulating your heart, which pumps and is influenced by electrical energy. Okay, your heart needs electrical energy to pump. So when you give yourself pastimes and things that you love to do and hobbies, then you're generating that electrical energy that your heart requires. So let's take a second and look at the word passion. You break it up, it's like pass and then on, or pass ion. Ions are units of energy. That's why I say when you're doing something that you truly love, you're generating electrical frequency, electrical energy within your body. And then when you're sharing that thing that you love, it doesn't matter if it's on a small or grand scale, you're immersed in something that you truly generate, that you truly love to do. You're generating that electrical energy, which broadcasts out, emits out from your body and your energy system naturally. And when you're engaged in other people, talking to them about the thing that you love or doing the thing that you love with them, you're sharing that electrical life force energy with them. You're passing ions on, you're passing that energy on to others. You could also say, when you break up the word passion, that you pass I on. You're passing on your truth, the essence of you, the thing that makes your heart sing, the deepest expression of your soul, of your being. You're sharing the truest essence of you with others, with life, hopefully for the upliftment of them as well as yourself. So that's what this natural law of health is all about. Passing ions on, passing you on, generating that electrical frequency. So now let's look at how that corresponds with your energy system. And as I mentioned a minute ago, it's about your fourth chakra, which is your heart space. So as I've done with the other natural laws of health, then I refer to this book called by Carolyn Meese, PhD, Why People Don't Heal and How They Can, to give you a little synopsis or rundown of about this energy center, how it affects your physical health. So again, if you don't know, or if you're not familiar with Carolyn Meese, go look her up online. You'll find lots of education videos, books, everything from her. She's a very insightful, very wise woman. One of my teachers that I've referred to for a very long time. Okay. So let's look at chakra 4 in her book. The organs associated to this, which means the area of the body that this energy center governs and influences, are the following: your heart and your circulatory system, your lungs, your shoulders and arms, your breasts and ribs, your diaphragm, and your thymus gland. So if you're familiar with the meridian system in traditional Chinese medicine, then there is an acupuncture line or meridian line that goes through your heart down into your arms. And so your arms are, they benefit from, or they are part of this particular energy area. Okay, mental and emotional issues that arise when energy gets stagnant and plugged and blocked in this area of your body. Love and hatred. We sure see a lot of that these days, don't we? Resentment and bitterness. Grief, anger, self-centeredness. There's an overabundance of that running around the planet right now. Loneliness and commitment. Forgiveness, compassion, hope, and trust. All the things having to do with the heart. So when there's issues with any of those things that you've not been able to resolve, they've been long-standing. Let's say you've had a broken heart, you've had a divorce, you've had somebody betray you, or broken trust, something. There's anger, there's rage, there's grief, there's sadness. Your heart has been shattered. You've not been able to resolve that and move on. The energy will transmute itself in one way or the other. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the energy can either A, be resolved by you choosing to do your emotional healing work, your personal development work, looking at the beliefs, the emotional patterns, all the things that led to those experiences, so that you can finally forgive them, find resolution and peace, and move on. That's one way of transmuting that energy and releasing it from your body, releasing it from your heart space, from your fourth chakra energy area. The other way, which I think is the harder way, is you can refuse to do that and let the energy reside and sit in your cells of your tissues, sit and fester and agitate and become more and more dense, more and more negative, more and more degenerative and heavy. And eventually that energy will drop down into physical matter in the form of disease. It's up to you. What are you going to do with it? When the tissues of your body, in this instance, your heart, your chest, your lungs, your circulatory system, when the only life force energy that they have access to is that heavy emotional energy of betrayal, trust issues, grief, hatred, anger, wanting to argue, all the things. If that's all the quality of energy that your heart tissue, the cells of your circulatory system, the cells of your shoulders, your lungs, if that's all that they have access to in order for them to function and run, It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that they're not going to be able to function fully because they don't have the electrical juice. They don't have the life force energy, the plasma required for them to function and fire off the way that they need to do, because your cells and your tissues are also electromagnetic. They are also units of energy. So if you're depriving your body of life force energy that it requires, then don't be surprised when the physical tissues malfunction and degenerate into disease. And then don't claim that you're the victim here, because you've ignored things for decades that your body's telling you that needs to be addressed. And the only way that the body can deal with this heavy energy to transmute it out of the body is by creating disease, because you refuse to deal with your emotional stuff. Point blank. So, hence the conversations that we're having about the natural laws of health, so that you can educate yourself, so that you can come to view yourself from a holistic perspective beyond just a hunk of physical flesh, that you are an energetic being, a complex energetic system of electromagnetic energy that is first and foremost the template upon which your physical body is built. And when you address that and learn to work with it and pay attention to that, it becomes much easier to understand your physical body and what it needs and how to take care of it. And then it's also easier for you to do the things required to live in harmony with these natural laws of health, so that you can take care of your body and enjoy a long, healthy, vital life. So, talking about passion, you just saw mine. What do you have in your life that you really enjoy, that sparks you and lights you up and gets you all excited, that you can talk about forever, that you would love to do, regardless of whether or not it ever generated $1 for you? What do you have in your life that you enjoy, that brings you life, that lights up your life, your face, brings up a light to your eye? If you've forgotten those things, I suggest that you go rediscover them. You know, it's real easy in the crazy pace life that we have, of the commute, the bills, the house, the dog, the kids, the coworker, the horrible manager, all of the stress in the media, the economy falling apart, everything, going up into flames. It's so easy with all of the demands and stressors of life to just shut down, go hide in your room, in your house, turn on the TV, completely zone out on the couch, chow down on your comfort foods, and forget about everything. It's real easy to let that fire in your eyes, that passion in your heart be extinguished and go out. It's real easy just to say life sucks and then you die. You're only here to pay bills and you just shuffle along. Is that where you're at? Is that what your life has become? A dull, repetitive, monotonous, day-to-day routine that's sucking the life out of you? If it is, then let this be your wake-up call. And I would hope that you find it within yourself to value and respect yourself enough to start looking for things that you can do to rekindle that fire, that light, to find joy in your life again. The mind and the heart thrives on variety and newness. Try new things. Read a new book. Learn a new activity, a new dance, a new socializing thing, hiking, biking, camping, new things, new people. Put yourself out there. Just try anything. And eventually you'll find something that you enjoy doing. It may take you a while, but so what? It's better than just rotting away on the couch, isn't it? Do you really want to live, or is there a death urge in there? Seriously. So I encourage you to just step back and evaluate your life, evaluate yourself. Where you're at with this. Are you doing things that you enjoy? Great. Are there new things that you would want to do? Are the things on your bucket list? Have you been able to cross off a couple of them? If not, then what do you need to do in order to get there? The idea with this is that you can come to the end of your life feeling fully fulfilled. That you've given everything, you've done everything, you've shared all of you. You've passed on to other people. You've made a contribution to the whole of life. You've made it better in some form. So that you can come to the end of your life and say, I have no regrets. No regrets. Talk to any hospice worker sitting at the bedside of people who are about to take their last breath. You know what the number one thing that so many people have in common that they all say? I wish I had done something different. I wish I had not chased after money so bad. I wished I had smoothed things over with those relationships. I wished I had taken more time with my kids, with my loved ones. I wished I had done this instead of that. So many people are filled with regret at the end of their lives. Don't let that be you. Even if you have had decades that you've already lived, who cares? You're still here breathing. Start today and find something that you love to do that can breathe new life into you, to give you variety and joy and color and spark in your life that enlivens you in a way that nothing else can. So what keeps you from doing this? What keeps you from passing on, from sharing and exploring your passions? As I mentioned a few minutes ago, this is the heart chakra, the energy center that's all about your heart. And as we all know, life is difficult. There's trauma, there's experiences, there's regrets, there's relationships, and on and on and on. When there's so much grief and trauma and broken trust, and the ability to understand the bigger picture of why life is what it is, the inability to extract meaning out of why did I have to go through this horrible thing? What was the frickin' point? If you can't come to resolution and peace with that, if you've experienced betrayal, broken trust, broken heartedness, grief, loss, it literally breaks your heart. If that's where all of those emotions, all of that pain and trauma sits and is stored within your body, within your energy system, is through this fourth chakra area aspect of your energy system. It's also where you'll access all this in order to heal it. When you don't have all of that, or when you have all of that sitting there, it creates this gray, heavy, dense cloud of sadness, depression, and anger that sits over your heart, that makes it difficult for you to take a deep breath because your lungs, your chest is so full of grief and sadness and brokenheartedness that it shuts down your heart, literally shuts down your heart. Look at all of the cardiovascular problems, the heart disease, the circulatory problems, myocarditis that has become explosive in the last 2 or 3 years because of poor choices based upon coercion, lack of information, and fear, that now people get to deal with the results of such actions with heart conditions, brokenheartedness, betrayal of trust. All of that will shut you down. And when all of that there is this heavy, heavy cloud of grief and anger and sadness over your heart, you can't access the joy, the sparkly, the colors, the love, the excitement of life. You shut yourself down. And so what else do? Well, sit on the couch, eating donuts, watching TV, and just shuffling through your life in this boring routine, waiting for the last day to come. Just pay your bills and then you die mentality. Is that really where you want to be? Is that really where you want to end your life with? Or would you like to end it with no regrets? Because you've done and experienced everything that you wanted to do. And you've passed on to others. And left this world just a little bit better than it was before you came. So that's the natural law of health, of passion. I encourage you to evaluate your life, evaluate where you're at with this, and if need be, make some changes. And with that, as I always offer with all of my episodes, a free downloadable PDF gift. And what I have for you today is a guide that walks you through 7 unconscious beliefs that prevent you from healing. Many of these tie right into our conversation today of what closes your heart down. So I encourage you to grab that, go through it, take it to heart, take stock in yourself. What do you need to do? Who do you need to talk with to be able to unload this heaviness off of your heart? To be able to set your spirit free from all of the grief and the betrayal, to mend the broken trust, so that you can open your chest, open your posture up, so that you can receive life in a confident, loving manner of, here I am, versus caving, protecting your heart, rounding your shoulders down, or even building up massive pec muscles of armor to protect your heart. The body posture tells you, for anybody who's able to read body posturing, which I've seen many times in my years of being a massage therapist, the body posture will tell you the condition of people's hearts oftentimes. So grab the PDF that I offered, the 7 unconscious beliefs that prevent you from healing. Take it to heart, share this episode with others, like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening and take care.